So day 65, I was on the telly a minute ago, but I've got to go and do some running now. Crew are ready, are you?
Yeah!
It's going to be a long day today. No tea until 6 or 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
That's all right.
I reckon.
Lovely.
Anyway, we'll go get it done.
Oh,
Kieran.
So I'm out and moving on this day 65. the final three 30 milers. Holy moly. I mean, I can't quite believe it. I keep saying this and it's probably getting boring for you guys watching, but I can't believe that I'm here. That I've made it all this way along. Who knew? I certainly didn't know that I would get to this point, and it was a huge leap of faith. I had no idea. Like, I could have been home after 5 days. I could have been back on a plane, but we've come this far and I'm feeling good. Had a bit of a late start today because I had to go on live telly on the BBC, which is, I've done some telly before, but you know, for my work, but yeah, that was pretty nerve-wracking. I think that's the highest my heart rate has been in the last 2 months, but hopefully it went okay. And yeah, so we had to stay back because they wanted to do it a little bit later, and now I'm setting off probably about 10:30, so it's gonna be another one of those days where we get to run right through the midday. It doesn't look like it's gonna be too hot, but I'm hoping this cloud cover keeps rolling over to keep me a bit cooler. I think we're gonna have a little bit of elevation in today as well. It feels like we're sort of entering quite a lot of hilly stuff, but we've got to do 32 miles. I'm walking out the first half an hour as I always do, and I'll just go back to the process, you know, tap, 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 get those feet tapping, fuel, hydrate, move, you know, take a breather when I need to, watch the niggles, ease off them when you feel them coming on, you know, run to feel and move well if the legs are giving it to you. And to be honest, I'm just going to be carried on. My adrenaline's up from doing that TV thing, and you know, having my mum and everyone here to see it whilst it was going on was just absolutely magic. You know, she was in tears with just being so proud, and yeah, and they showed clips of, you know, my little boy and all the things that have been special, you know, during the run. That's one of the most special moments, and just before I went on, I had to hold myself together actually, but there is still a job to be done, and it would be easy now to be getting all celebratory, but there's 90 miles is 90 miles, and that is still a long way to go. So we're just going to settle back in now, get the focus back on, and go back to what I think potentially after 65 days I'll probably do best, which is running through the countryside. So today's run I wanted to dedicate to my son Riley. He's 7 years old. He's the most important person in my life. He brings me so much happiness, so many laughs, struggles too. You know, no one's perfect, and I don't want him to be perfect. That's not the point. I just want him to be him. And the day that I kind of left the house in London is still etched on my memory. I had to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was still asleep, so I knew I wasn't going to see him in the morning to say goodbye. And I had to give him a little kiss as he was asleep. And I knew that I wasn't going to see him for a long time after that. And I felt homesick and vulnerable and exposed. And I missed him from the moment I walked out the door. I remember sitting in the taxi and I just felt sick, really sick, all the way over to Romania. And then on the first day, I opened up a note from him. And it said, just said, "I believe in you." And those magic words have carried me all this way. To know that he's back there, you know, he was believing in me. It was hard for him. He's made a lot of sacrifices for me to come here, you know, missing his daddy for 2 months, giving up what other people might consider like a regular summer holiday to go and play in a pool or be on the beach or do whatever, you know. He's been carted around from pillar to post in a van and a car and spent 6 hours a day driving and eating food that he doesn't really like. And he's done it all with such a calm, accepting manner, mainly, not all the time. And I'm eternally grateful for the sacrifices that he's made. He might not even realise it now that he was making those sacrifices to help me do something that was really important to me. But I also wanted to do this to show Riley that if you have a dream, no matter how big, no matter how scary, no matter how impossible, no matter how crazy, no matter how many people sort of say, "You can't do that. That's nuts. You shouldn't pursue that. That's crazy. How are you going to do all of that?" The only way you find out is if you get out there and give it a go. And I didn't know how this would go. I had no idea. But I gave it a shot, and that was all that mattered. From the day that I started, that was already a success. And I wanted to set an example for Riley. I wanted him to come and see this and see that you can dream as big as you like. Have a go at it. Have a crack. See what you get. But you have to also put the work in. Nothing comes easy. But if you're willing to have a shot and you're willing to be brave and you're willing to stand up and not worry about if you don't make it, then this is kind of one of the things that I wanted him to take away from this journey. And he's been out here and he's seen some amazing places. He's been to places that as a 7-year-old most other people won't have been to. And he's run with me. I had this magic moment along the river with him running with me, and he smiled at me, and I've had cuddles, and I've had these incredible moments where I've seen him and he's come out. And all it takes to lift me when I come into a stop to go back out is to see his smiling face or have him running towards me. And then I've got 3 miles in the legs. You know, those ones are powered by Riley. And the whole way along this, I've had him in my mind. Most of it running towards him to get to the day where I knew I would see him in Serbia. And then again when they came out here to Germany. But also just, I had him in my mind as someone I wanted to do this for. And I love you to bits, Riley. Last time I made a video like this, I think I was yomping across the Sahara. You were in Mummy's tummy. I've not even shown that to you yet. I will one day. But this one's for you, buddy. I love you, I love you, I love you. And thanks for being on my crew, for being patient, and for being such a star. This run is for you, Riley.